Ladies and gentlemen, the beat goes on.
Turn it up.
What you're about to hear may cause your speakers to explode.
Grant's Rock Warehouse is keeping it real in the feed.
Get ready in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
You think we're going to have a big explosion, or it's just smooth jazz.
Anticlimactic, right?
Anticlimactic. I don't think this is Marlon's scene.
Yeah, he's not coming tonight.
Mostly I'm prepping for shows, West Coast Dave. Those days of just listening to stuff for fun. Come on, Dave. Come on. I swear to God, this is a perfect record. I know it's sold a shitload. It was very popular. It's very accessible, but I can listen to this damn record over and over again.
It's timeless. It's timeless.
It's timeless.
Yep.
And this is off just for everyone knows, I think a lot of the versions of this were remixed. Is that correct? Like on CD and stuff? This is like the original Columbia CD that came out back in the 80s. So that's got the original.
That's the one that I have as well. Yeah.
Sounds fine to me.
Yeah.
I don't know. So Mr. Pete Pardo is with me tonight. Pete, welcome to the show.
Everybody.
Nice to see you. So you know how we do this, everybody? Pete picks tracks. I pick tracks. Pete put in a lot of tracks. We have enough for another show. There's so many tracks because a lot of these songs, you're listening to jazz. A lot of these songs stretch out.
Yeah. I started putting a list together and I'm like, oh shit, this one's 8 minutes. This one's 12
right.
minutes. And like, before you know it, you have like 4 hours worth of music.
Well, that's when we did the Yacht Rock show, Pete, we had the same problem.
I know.
It ended up being a 4-hour show. Anyway, I want to say hello, everybody. Oh, nice to see someone agrees with me finally. Thanks, Webb. I appreciate it. I want to welcome everybody tonight. We want to keep this interactive. Really, all these shows are about is just we can all hang out, play some tunes, shoot the shit. And Pete's brought some things that he wants everyone to hear. I've done the same way. We're just trying to turn you on to stuff. Pete, do you want to, I think you're leading this next, if I can make my mouse work, it would help. Yeah. What do we have up next, Pete?
Hold on. You caught me.
Oh, man. Come on, Pardo.
Yes. Sorry. Hold on. Let me pull this up. What do we got coming up here?
Well, I didn't know if there was a rhyme or reason to decided what you picked. Did you just pick stuff just what you felt?
There's no theme to it. I just a lot of stuff that I really like, some obscure stuff. Hold on, let me get to. Hopefully everybody liked the Miles track because that
was great.
Songs off that album. It's one of my favorites. So we got some cool stuff coming up. So I picked I did a show on SOT recently, a Talking Jazz episode all about Wayne Shorter. So I wanted to get a Wayne Shorter track, even though we had a Wayne Shorter composition with the Miles Davis song Footprints before. But I wanted to get one of his solo tracks coming up. So we've got Juju coming up next, I believe.
Yes, we do.
And then you've got a track. And then after the next break, for all of you folks who like the Hammond organ, we've got a legend, Jimmy Smith, coming up as well. So there's some really good stuff coming up in this first hour. So, and then of course we heard on piano on the Miles Davis track, Mr. Herbie Hancock, one of his solo compositions is coming up soon as well. And you've got some awesome stuff picked as well. So
I've got some good stuff. Yeah. Hopefully stuff that's not always heard all the time, but Hey, we're just hanging out. I want to say that, we do break up in case you're new to this whole experience, which I think a lot of people already know. We split the show up into 2 hours. We'll probably go about 55 minutes because YouTube does not want us to go over 60 minutes. If you've been hanging out in the warehouse, you know how it works.
Yep.
But we'll split it up, take a brief break in between, and then we'll start up hour 2. Let's get started. Let's hear some Wayne Shorter. Hopefully I've got this. And Juju, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Jeez, that song just is about ready to go into orbit.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. I'm trying to. I'm just trying to play some stuff maybe you haven't heard. Yes, Nick, it's my pick. I just think the piano. We're going back 1956, ladies and
That's an
gentlemen.
oldie.
It's an oldie, but man, it's like those. I'm going to use the word cats. Those cats playing on this track. Absolutely, it's just like they're ready to go into orbit. You know what I'm saying? Christian, how's it going? Nice to see you. John, nice to see you. The last 20 years, I have come to understand how much jazz music has been integrated into rock and roll, particularly in the 70s, going back to Hendrix and Joplin. Look at you. Yeah, this would cause Marlon to have a meltdown. I only have about 15 jazz records in my collection, and this Lenny Tristiano is getting ordered tonight. My work is done here. All right, Pete. Someone bought something. We can close
There
down.
you go. I would hope we get some purchases for these artists tonight.
I did. This is going on a tangent. Now, the Rock Candy show that we are going to do, we're going to do it in August. I do have to share something that I got, and I think you bought one, and I bought the only other one.
Oh, yes.
And I got this.
Oh, those Axe albums are great. You're gonna want to get all the ones they have. They're amazing. Really good.
What else did I get? Stan Bush. Somebody in the chat? I know we're on a tangent, but whatever. I know someone here that's in the chat recommended this Stan Bush CD. Was it Ken? I can't remember. And then I just picked one that I never. I'm not sure what this is. Or Shy or something. I don't know. I just picked it. This is
Jimmy
bad.
Smith is up next.
What's that? Oh yeah, Jimmy Smith, ladies and gentlemen. So, let's do it. You ready?
Yeah.
God darn it, Jimmy Smith, ladies and gentlemen. God, now this track, this is a bit of a long track. I will say that.
Lee Morgan on trumpet, folks.
Here it is.
Yeah, I forgot this one was 20 minutes. Oops, sorry about that.
Well, that's why we only have so many songs. And I'm just going down the list.
Yeah, these old Blue Note albums sound amazing.
Rick Leponte. Yes. You're right, Steve. jamming, George. They're jamming.
20 minutes. Epic.
Actually, I think it's only like 10 minutes. Yes, there is. They'll cut you off, Dave. It is 20 minutes. Well, we'll see. We're doing all right. We're almost through it.
One of these days,
Grant's Rock Warehouse.
I'm going to forget all my built-in protective circuits and zap him.
And White, that was a good moment. I don't think I could ever beat that again. Uh-oh. Ah! They cut us off.
Really?
We're getting close. All right, I'll do an outro. All right, everybody, we will be back for hour 2. So, because this will still be up. All right, everybody, we'll be back for hour 2. We'll see you in a bit.